And we are back for our final Star Wars retrospective on Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Hell yeah. We made it.
We made it. I am still Joseph. I am once again joined by Brad Man Pajama.
Thank you again for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sitting for maybe like an hour and a half talking about Star Wars with me.
I would do this for several hours and a half.
Don't threaten me, Brad. I will make you do it. I'm gonna fix it. I don't like how this looks. I'm gonna change the setup a little bit.
That's chill.
I want you to be in the shot more than me.
Okay.
You're the guest. You deserve to be in the shot. Okay.
Appreciate it.
I like that a bit more.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Brad. So we've gone a long time talking about Star Wars. We're finally at Episode 3, arguably the
final
favorite,
frontier.
The final frontier. What I don't know. I'm assuming it's also your favorite of the prequels.
Of the three, I would say it's favorite.
Yes.
Hardcore. It just wraps everything up nicely.
Or poorly.
But like
It wraps up poorly for the characters, but storytelling wise, it does wrap up nicely.
yes, it gives me the completion satisfaction.
Yes.
Everybody had to suffer for that, but that's okay. That's on them.
Right.
They're not real.
Right. They don't deserve happiness.
No. Real people shouldn't be happy. Or
Right.
no, fake people shouldn't be happy. Real people should be happy.
Real people
you
should
heard
be
it here
happy.
first.
That's a hot take, but
It's very hot.
I'll agree with it. Yeah, so it's also my favorite of the prequels, of the preques. And so, as we kind of alluded to in the Attack of the Clones episode, something that bothers me a lot about this movie, I think this is like kind of my main critique, is the fact that the Clone Wars exists and it doesn't fit into this movie.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird jump for sure.
Yeah.
You would think in like normal cinematic storytelling, you would think like the last movie would have ended with some of the Clone Wars stuff, and like this one would have picked up at least the first half of it, maybe even the first third of it would be other Clone Wars stuff.
Yes.
Again, it's not getting the entirety of the Clone Wars like we get in the TV show.
Right.
But considering back then that wasn't an idea.
Yeah.
If you wanted to tell this story with just one more movie, then yeah, I agree with you. You should have put more of the war in there that we still have questions about, because this war is first mentioned in A New Hope back in the 70s. You fought in the Clone Wars, and we're like, oh, what is that? Tell us more about that. And we don't get anything from it in those movies either.
See, and that's sort of like... I guess it's like kind of I don't blame George Lucas for this, because he didn't know the Clone Wars was going to be coming out.
Right.
But just like chronologically speaking, like there's no mention of Ahsoka Tano in this. There's no mention of what's his name, Darth Maul or Savage Empress or Asajj Ventress. Is that her name?
Yes.
All these characters, all these storylines that all supposedly happened between these two movies, but none of that is ever mentioned.
Nope, not at all.
And again, not at the fault of the movie itself. They didn't know these TV shows were going to be coming out, but it is something like, it's like, okay, it's hard for me to like watch this show and then believe that this movie comes right after this show.
Oh yeah.
When there's no references to the show within the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot more of like Clone Wars fans who are like that than you may think.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, it's I don't like that they wrote around this and all. It's not the fact that they wrote around it, it's that they wrote this much around it to the fact where none of it's getting mentioned in like the main like story.
Yeah.
That it's like the inspiration came from or whatever. But at the same time, I lost my thought.
Uh-oh.
You say something.
Okay, so this movie, it starts off pretty brutal. This is Anakin Skywalker's kind of first sort of turn to the dark side. He gets his revenge on Count Dooku by decapitating him.
Yes, and disarming him, or dishanding him, more so.
Yeah, I guess dishanding both hands.
Yes. Dishand and that hand.
Dishand and that hand and that head.
Yes.
And so the idea is that the Emperor can only have one apprentice.
Yes.
So he's like, do it.
Mm-hmm. And that was the first first sign in that movie that something was going to go south.
Yes. And so it's sort of I guess not so much the plot, but I guess the reasoning, I guess, for Anakin's turn to the dark side is he has these visions of Padme dying, and when does she find out she's pregnant? Like halfway through the movie?
It's like this very first scene we see her. It's when they get when they get back from killing Dooku and saving the Chancellor.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like right after all that stuff.
Right.
And
does she tell Anakin or does she tell Obi-Wan?
She tells just Anakin.
Okay.
Nobody's supposed to know.
Right.
I guess, which is like silly because it's like Padme is a political figure. Somebody's gonna question who her baby daddy is if they see she's pregnant.
Right. Did they get married at the end of the last one?
Yes,
or did they just have
it was not out of wedlock.
Okay. Good, because we don't want
unless they hooked up unless it was the conception was when they were hanging out in 2, but it's not, it won't be a bastard child, that's for sure.
Yes.
Children rather.
Yes, and gladly I will add. And Obi-Wan is the only one who knows about their marriage.
He does, but I don't think he actually know about the marriage. I just know he knows about Anakin and Padme being a thing.
Yes.
And in a novelization for 3, I think they talk about how like there's like extra dialogue that they add in those books, and Obi-Wan's like, I know you guys have been in love since the second you met on the Tatooine.
So you hit that?
What was that?
He's like, you hit that?
Right, basically. Yeah. He's like, I know you guys are close, like I'm not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But like he says like I've turned my head the other way because I love Anakin, basically.
Yeah. Right.
Plus in the Clone Wars, it turns out Obi-Wan actually had a little fling with somebody.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't like during his time as a Jedi, but he like met up with her years and years later and was like, oh dang. And then eventually she's used as a hostage and is sadly terminated in front of Obi-Wan.
Poor gal.
That dude's been through a lot of hell.
Poor Obi-Wan. Anakin Padme, what else happens in this? So this movie has an introduction to one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars, and that is General Grievous.
Oh, Grievous is the shit.
When I saw him in the trailer where his arms just like come, and then he had 4 lightsabers.
Yeah.
And he was a fucking badass, and then he gets blown up like a bitch.
Yeah, he went out like a rotisserie chicken.
Dude, that was fucked up. I was like, this guy he looks amazing. He has 4 lightsabers. They're the Jedis he killed.
Yeah,
he murdered Jedis and took their lightsabers.
He has the same curse as Darth Maul, unfortunately, where like all of his like cool badass shit, even though he's nowhere fucking near Darth Maul. Right. He's had some cool fights in the Clone Wars, but he's still like a bitch. Yeah. Truth be told. But it's all like, you don't see it in the movies.
Right.
It's like
he's just a coughing loser in the movies.
Pretty much, yeah. And then you'd see him die, and it's like, well, yeah, he went out like a bitch.
And they cut off 2 of his hands immediately. Mm-hmm. And then and then they're going in they have this like kind of wheel fight, and Boga, was that the name of the lizard?
I think so, yeah. If not, it's like the species or whatever.
Yeah. And then Obi-Wan just shoots him in the chest and he blows up.
Yeah, it was not...
He didn't even die from a lightsaber.
Exactly. It's like how Darth Maul died in the first one. It's like they deserved a much cooler death.
Right.
Although Maul eventually turns out is alive, and then he got a death that was debatably
a bit
cool.
More, yeah.
Yeah,
it was more earned.
It was earned, yeah, and it was like kind of peaceful, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grievous, he deserved better.
He did.
As someone, even if he is a piece of shit, he's a better death, a cooler death.
Right.
Same. It was like a Captain Phasma thing. Like that's not how they should die.
But yeah, I loved Grievous as a kid, and I wanted to be General Grievous.
I wanted to be that flesh burned or whatever, just whatever species skeleton he was, of a man with bad asthma.
So before I saw this movie, I think I think it was before I saw the like Clone Wars animated movie.
Oh yeah,
and he was fucking sick in that movie. He was grabbing people with his feet and like flinging them around, and he like killed Shaak Ti or something like that.
I believe so.
Or he knocked her out or something. And
yeah, he did some fucked up shit.
And Coyote was there, and he was fucking him up, and he ripped his shirt off, and he was jacked.
Yeah, he's fucking ripped.
Yeah, dude. Coyote Monday, why didn't you tell me you had such a fucking bod, dude?
Right, goddamn. Let the rest of the galaxy enjoy that.
Yeah, come on. With your weird head.
Weird ass head. I think this movie, not even just Star Wars, just like in movies in general, this Revenge of the Sith may have had the best teaser trailer like of all time, because it starts off with like clips of like the original movies, and then it's like sound bites and images and stuff, and then it starts showing the stuff that's going to be in this movie. And it's like it just made this incredible build up.
I wasn't allowed to see it at the theater, but when I saw the trailer for it in the theater, I was just like, I want to see that movie so fucking bad.
Yeah, dude, I think that was the first movie I like looked for a trailer online to watch or rewatch. Was like, there's got to be a way. The internet's real,
right? Okay, so speaking of people getting fucked up, should we talk about the arrest scene?
Order 66.
The treason scene.
Oh, yes, yeah. That was pretty interesting.
You had 4 of the most badass Jedis in the galaxy.
Yes. And they all went out with a slice.
Yeah.
Kit Fisto, another person, deserved a better death.
Yeah, Kit Fisto, he got there second longest. He was the second longest in the fight, and he's just...
Yeah, he kept his guard. He got his guard down, dude. Probably because I refuse to believe that old man is just that good with a lightsaber.
And he spun. He did like a big jumping spin.
Right? Yeah, like a fucking like 720 or some shit.
What the fuck was that?
Sheev pro skater fucking head ass.
Yeah, they had a pretty good fight, I think, but it's just like, again, Samuel L. Jackson clearly didn't feel like learning how to fight. And then Ian McDermott was just like,
I'm old.
Yeah. And then so the sort of Anakin turning, this is like Anakin's turning moment, because Mace doesn't want to turn him into a Jedi Master. And so he's blocking the electricity, and he's like, and which this is some prime Samuel L. Jackson acting.
Oh, it was top tier. Absolutely like, top tier.
Anakin, I can't hold it.
It's like, okay. You showed up. You were on set for a day.
Yeah. And that always kind of made me laugh in that scene. Was like, okay,
that scene's very laughable.
Like, here, this guy is... You got one guy shooting electricity at another guy who's telling you, Anakin, help me stop this guy. He just killed all of the other Jedis.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta help me stop him. And then Anakin is just like, nah,
this guy can help me maybe save the girl I'm banging.
Right.
Or my wife at this point, I guess. We'll be respectful.
Because he tells him a story of a Sith.
Right, which he could have been lying.
What's the deal with Darth Plagueis?
I honestly, God, don't know much. I just know that, like, I really only know everything that, like, Sheev says in that scene is like, oh, his apprentice killed him in his sleep, but he knew how to save people from death.
Right.
I know he was one ugly motherfucker.
That's what...
Like, he was like an alien, like, not like a human.
That's
like,
what they're saying, yeah.
Yeah, and he's never been, like, in at least any, like, movies or TV or anything. He's never been physically, like...
He is not, no.
Present.
People thought that he was going to be, what's his name? The big guy, Snoke.
Oh, yeah, that would have been wild.
Yeah.
That would have been really wild, actually. Never thought about that. Yeah, Snoke's just some guy. That was fucking weird.
We're not talking about Snoke. Don't think about Snoke right now. We're talking about the prequels.
No Snoke. We're talking about the good movie.
The good movie. But yeah, so he's like telling Anakin, like, oh, like, the Sith have the power to save the dead, and Anakin keeps having this dream that Padme is going to die. So he's like, I I need the Sith power so I can save her.
Right. It's very black and white for Anakin.
Yes.
It's one of those things where you hear people who play villains and they're like, oh, they're not a villain in my head.
Right.
They're complex. They're nuanced.
Right. But I think this movie is where sort of the problem of why didn't they stop Sheev sooner kind of comes 100%. Into play. Because it's like they really did let Sheev get too much power when they really shouldn't have trusted him.
No. They had every right to not trust him, honestly, because he suggested shady shit. Even in the movies, he was like, "Oh, well, we could give emergency powers to somebody, but like, who would be so bold?"
Yeah. Did they know that he had Force powers in?
Like in the Attack of the Clones and stuff?
In any of the prequels, is it?
I don't believe so. I think him having knowledge of the Force at all was not a common known fact.
Okay. That makes a bit more sense then. But still, like... well, I mean, if they could send some midichlorians in Anakin, would they be able to in Palpatine?
See, that's the thing. That's the thing I never understood, is that there's... Throughout Star Wars lore, sometimes we're like, oh, the dark side surrounds him. Like when they meet somebody new, and it's like, okay, how did nobody catch that with him then? Is he... I'm sure the defense or the reasoning is like, oh, he's so powerful of a Sith Lord, he can like suppress it or hide it or whatever, which is like, okay, I'll accept that. Other people won't, but
yeah,
that's me with everything Star Wars, basically.
Yeah. And why didn't Dooku, like, Anakin was about to cut off his head, why didn't he be like, hey, by the way, like, I work for that guy?
Oh, that's a great question. Maybe Dooku was just like in shock.
Yeah,
because he was just like, I just lost my hands, and my boss just told this guy to kill me.
Yeah,
I'm not okay.
Right.
Poor guy. Speechless. I would understand that.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, that's one of the things I kind of find like plot holy, is like how has no one figured, like no one even thought maybe
this guy like, who wants to run the Senate,
the guy who was in office way too long, may want to be powerful. I don't know, just thought.
Not to mention he just looks evil. Oh
yeah, I mean he's a politician. He's evil to some extent. Padme's evil, probably.
Yeah.
But at least she helped create the rebellion. But you don't see that because they deleted those scenes for Revenge of the Sith.
She saved the Gungans.
She did, and she deserves more credit for it.
She does.
I hope they build a statue of her.
Ooh, you know who they're not building a statue of? Jar Jar.
Not after that movie. No, sir. He's the one that really fucked it up.
Come on, Jar Jar.
Because he's the one that gave Palpatine his power.
Yes.
At least his like political power. I read it somewhere in some novel that somebody followed up on Jar Jar like years after like Darth Vader and all that stuff started taking over. Said he basically became a clown, like an actual like entertaining clown that like
poor guy. He's gone through some shit.
For food.
Yeah,
like a real like fucking. I don't want to say loser because like that's a tough thing to go through, but
it's like me so hungry.
Yeah, basically, and like kids make fun of him and shit.
Poor Jar Jar.
Yeah, I'm like, that's gotta suck. You were a politician at one point.
you could jump really high.
You should jump so fucking high and do a flip, dude.
He was great at doing that.
He's useful.
Okay, more about this movie. So the Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sad scene. Just seeing all the Jedi.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Even as a child.
Yeah.
It's like, the thing I like the most is about to get slaughtered.
Right. Alaya Secura, was that her name? She's the blue one, the blue Jedi.
Yes, yeah, I think that's her name.
She just got like she was just hanging out with some clones in there.
Yeah, she was just on a mission. She got fucking turned on. And then it's like, okay, well now what's your mission?
Yeah. Fight some droids.
Fuck. Didn't think that one through. But
and then the child murder scene.
Yes, the killing of younglings was also fucking wild to witness on the big screen.
Yes. Master Skywalker.
That kid was also at a Star Wars convention.
Did you talk to him?
I did not, but I don't. The only person I met at that convention was Bobby Moynihan from SNL.
Bobby Moynihan? What?
Bobby Moynihan was walking the floor.
He would do something like that.
Well, he was voicing, I think it was like Rise of the Resistance or something. And it's funny because I already knew he was going to be there, like doing convention stuff. But he was going to be there the day I wasn't there, which was like, I was there Friday, Saturday. He was there Sunday. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe he'll just be like walking the floor Saturday, like just hanging out the day before. Because like, that sounds like something somebody like him would do.
Right.
And I joked that I manifested that because that's exactly what he was doing. I walked past, like pretty much almost done with my day. It's like 3:00 maybe. I'm with my friend and we walked past this guy and like a woman. I stop my friend and go, that was Bobby Moynihan.
Moynihan.
I turn around and sure as shit, it was fucking Bobby Moynihan. And then I was like, I have to talk to him. So I went up to him, said hi, fucking geeked out. Yeah. Got a picture with him. Super fucking nice dude. Super fucking nice. Oh my God.
You love to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, Order 66 was brutal.
It was tough to watch. Just ignore that. That's gonna keep blinking.
Right. I'm like, are you worried about something?
No. We still got one camera that's not gonna die.
Hell yeah, we're hanging on.
Yeah, this is
the show must go on.
Yeah, this whole series is just like falling apart. As we really should have planned this a bit better.
Nah, we're doing great.
We're doing great.
So after Order 66, I believe that's when Obi-Wan and Yoda go to the temple, and then they're kind of ambushed by clones, and then that's when he goes back to the security footage.
Yes.
And that's where Obi-Wan learns the truth.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my boy's fucked up. Oh, he's so fucked up. He's a school shooter.
Obi-Wan fucked up. He should have fucking taught him better.
Listen, Obi-Wan tried his best with what was given to him.
He did. Okay?
He didn't ask for a pathetic life form as Anakin Skywalker.
Qui-Gon should have fucking not died, and then he could have...
Qui-Gon should have finished his fucking own Padawan before he fucking took on another one.
Right. Son of a bitch.
And then he like gaslit Obi-Wan into like, oh, you want this, right? And Obi-Wan's like, I'm ready to face the trials, I guess. Yeah. I'm not a master yet, so I don't know what the fuck, but okay. So
there's like a big Yoda Emperor fight.
Yes, that one was awesome.
Where he's just throwing shit at him.
The literal Senate.
Yes.
Like just their little pods or whatever. That shit was wild.
Yoda barely makes it out alive. Mm-hmm. Somehow. Which, again, another thing with Yoda is like, he's supposed to be the strongest Jedi, but he's getting tossed around like a bitch.
Yeah, he got fucked up pretty good. He was getting thrown around for sure. Yeah.
He was saved by Bail Organa.
Yes.
Wait, is this the first movie he's in?
I wanna. He might be in 2 for like a scene, but this is the one where we actually like get to know him. I guess.
We didn't mention in episode 2 the Owen Lars and
Owen and Beru.
Beru.
Yes.
Played by Joel Edgerton and some lady.
Yes.
They were fine. Whatever.
They were fine.
I don't care about Uncle Owen.
I didn't at all either. And then Obi-Wan came out. They gave them a little more to do, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for them. No
Got
notes.
that check.
Yeah. Good for Joel.
Good for you, Joel. You were in a Star War.
It's a couple of them.
Yeah. Okay, what else about this movie? What?
There's the scene with Obi-Wan and Padme where he says killing younglings to her, and he has to... Ewan McGregor had to cover his face to hide him from, like, to not show that he was laughing.
Is that real?
That's real.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to rewatch that scene.
He like says there was footage killing younglings, and he's like not looking at Natalie Portman. And then he covers his mouth. He's like laughing. He's like, you can't really tell that he's laughing, but like he's confirmed that's what he was doing.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that is a strange thing to say,
right? Because that kind of like is one of the defenses I like go to when people say like, oh, the prequels are like campy or like they're not written well or something. It's like it's a space opera first and foremost. That's what George Lucas. Yeah, for kids. That's what George Lucas's vision was. B, it's like look at the content. Like look at what they're talking about. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Teddy bears destroyed an empire.
Yes.
Like get the fuck over yourself. Just suspend your fucking disbelief. It's really not that hard.
Okay, how do you feel about the final battle, the Mustafar battle?
Absolute heartbreak.
Yes,
absolute heartbreak. Admittedly, It was a little sad, like
it was,
at the time it came out, and then like after, as an adult rewatching it, it's still sad. Once they did this last season of the Clone Wars, that like the entire season is like in line with the third film. Yeah. So if anything Clone Wars related, I would recommend it would definitely be that.
The last season, okay.
Because it fills in those gaps of like, who is Ahsoka Tano? Where the fuck was she during all of this? Because it tells you literally where she was the entire time. Like even right when Order 66 was called, all that stuff. Okay. So yeah, and with all of that, it makes it more like kind of heart-wrenching. It's like, oh god, it's just so sad. Plus watching all of Clone Wars in general, with just how much you see Obi-Wan and Anakin just being buddy the entire time, and then to see them fucking try to kill each other.
Yes.
Yeah, absolute heartbreak.
Like, that was a great scene when he was just like, you were my brother, Anakin.
Oh yeah, that's the worst part. Yeah. Like, worst part in terms of like, that's where the tears should be.
He's like, I hate you.
Yeah, and then he's just a little crispy piece of bacon.
He was a little Hayden Christensen. It's both his arms, both his legs. His entire body gets fucked up by lava.
Fucked the fuck up.
That was
and then Obi-Wan just left him.
And dude, at least, like, I guess he didn't want to kill his friend, but like, dude, you already fucked him up enough. Like,
a little force push would have just nailed in the coffin, literally. Just like, now I know he's dead.
Right.
He can't come back as some kind of scary robot monster and try to burn me alive.
So I didn't watch Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did he know that Darth Vader was Anakin?
He didn't know Anakin was alive.
I see.
There's a scene where the kind of premise is that Obi-Wan's being hunted along with other Jedis, whatever. One of the Inquisitors is like chasing him, finds him, and is like talking to him, and is like, Anakin Skywalker's alive. But then it's also like, wait, why does she know who Anakin Skywalker is? And that's more interesting stuff for this story. But yeah, he had no idea that Anakin survived. Okay. And so it's like, and then there's like this really awesome scene jump where it's like a close-up of Obi-Wan like kind of like freaked out, like almost crying, and then it cuts right to fucking Darth Vader in a bacta tank. Yeah. And it's like, oh fuck. Okay. Yeah, I saw the last scene where they fought each other, and that was a good scene. But I've been seeing people online say like, there's kind of no point to this because it's the exact same thing as what happened at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I can see that argument, but for me, it's like, this is what we wanted to see. Yeah. I wasn't, when they first announced an Obi-Wan Kenobi series, I was not at all expecting or demanding a actual rematch between that and A New Hope. I was just like, this is just gonna be Obi-Wan dodging the Empire or something. So to see them actually like be face to face again, I thought was
I thought he was going to fight Darth Maul, but then I found out they did that in Rebels already.
Yeah, that was that's supposed to take place like years later too. Okay. When he's supposed to be like gray at least, which is another thing they never. That's one of the things they never covered is Obi-Wan aging 20 years and 9 years. Yeah. But I don't live in the desert, so
stressful time.
I'm just chalking it up to that. Yeah, and then this movie we get baby Luke and Leia. Yes. Might be the first Star Wars baby, technically, besides the baby Ewok.
Baby Yoda? He wasn't the first, but I'm just saying
it's Baby Yoda. There are babies in the Star Wars universe, I guess. There are. Star Wars be fucking and making babies.
People do be fucking in Star Wars.
Yeah, and then we get to a little bit more of Owen and Beru in that last scene. Yeah. And then that's it. Roll credits. Written by George Lucas. Incredible. 5 stars.
A masterpiece.
And then the world saw it.
I don't think this one as critically panned as the previous two.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm sorry, George. I wish I would have been a bit older at that time.
Yeah, it just critically I feel like critically none of these movies really do that well, right? Especially like sci-fi, but financially, much different story. Yes, it made fucking bank.
And let me tell you, I loved this movie as a kid, and I loved I had a GameCube.
Mm-hmm, same.
And so I didn't have a memory card.
Oh, no.
So I'd have to restart every level.
Yep.
Every time I wanted to play. And And majority of the time, I would just skip everything and go straight to episode 3 and just redo all those levels because I just loved it so much.
Yeah, it's the best one of the 3. Easily.
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's do it.
Oh, fuck yeah. What,
I don't know. What else can we talk about this movie that hasn't already been talked about?
We've talked about the whole movie, haven't we? And you haven't seen Kenobi, so there's fewer things to talk about.
Right. I don't know. I want more of this kind of Star Wars. I don't want Imperial Star Wars. I don't want I guess that's sort of what the Clone Wars is this type of Star Wars. But I don't know why we can't have more Star Wars taking place in the good times.
Yeah, no, that's a reasonable want.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, that's what we're going to be seeing, I guess, with some future projects.
Okay.
I think Rian Johnson's maybe is going to be totally not related to anything.
I heard he wasn't thinking of doing it anymore though.
I think I actually heard that too recently,
yeah.
But I also heard that that's still the trilogy that he was offered is there if he wants it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess he could change his mind if not.
I guess we can finish off by talking about the future state of Star Wars.
Oh yes. What does the future hold?
So the Rian Johnson trilogy, which he probably isn't doing. Taika Waititi is doing a movie.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
That should be interesting. Like I said, I didn't love Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't know if I said that, but
I don't recall. But that's what I'm hearing from other people.
Yeah, I didn't love it, and I feel like he's sort of getting to the point where he the first Thor movie was it was great, and it was great to see something new. But now he's kind of just I'm Taika Waititi, I'll do what I want. I
can see that, yeah, because when you get a certain amount of hits, he had Ragnarok, and then he also had Jojo Rabbit,
right?
So
and he's an actor now, so he's everybody knows Taika, everybody loves him. He's he's a quirky director guy, and that's just starting to bug me.
Yeah, that's fair. It's it's I refer to it as the Anna Kendrick effect.
Yeah,
Anna Kendrick she enters the zeitgeist with Pitch Perfect and stuff, and then she's in fucking every movie. She's in every commercial.
Yeah.
She's doing, she's writing a book, and it's we are so sick of you.
Yes.
And then eventually she went away.
Yeah. Okay, and then there is the Patty Jenkins movie, which I think might be canceled.
I think I also heard that too. It was supposed to be about Rogue Squadron, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
It was going to be about pilots.
It was going to be the really greatest pilot movie ever made. And now it's probably not.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Top Gun 2?
Ooh. Come on, Patty Jenkins. So there was Solo, which was directed by the what are their names? The two guys.
The Lego movie guys. I think
Chris something. The Lego movie guys.
Yeah, that's all I know him as.
They were fired,
and then Ron Howard.
Ron Howard came in.
Yep.
Star Wars has a serious problem. They had Rian Johnson do the movie. And they're oh no, we'll just get J.J. Abrams back. So they have a serious problem because they don't know what they want to do, and they'll give someone same thing with Rogue One.
Yeah.
Or was it Rogue One? No, the guy Colin Trevorrow, I think. Or
he wrote the original Rise of Skywalker.
He was supposed to write Episode 9. They fired him.
Yeah. Have you gotten your hands on his script at all?
No, I have not.
Okay, so it wouldn't have been bad.
Yeah.
It would not have been bad. It definitely would have been very different than what we saw.
Okay.
It would have incorporated this movie that he wrote. This was going to go back to there were going to be parts where they go back to Naboo.
Was it time travel?
I don't remember.
Or just going to locations.
Physically going there.
Okay.
Kind of like how they went to the Death Star.
Yeah.
It's same deal. Yeah, it would have been the most Rian Johnson's was different in terms of direction and cinema.
Yeah.
Cinematic cinematography rather.
Right.
So that was different. This would have been that times 10 because it would have been in all these not weird places, but places you didn't think we were gonna really go, city like major cities kind of places, kind of like Coruscant and stuff.
Yeah.
Rey was gonna like, I think, lose an arm at some point and have a robotic limb, and then she was gonna have a double-bladed lightsaber, which I thought was gonna happen from the very first.
I don't know
sequel.
why they didn't.
Right,
yeah,
like she's got that big long ass stick. She's gotta have a big long ass lightsaber.
Yeah.
Nope. Hux was still gonna go out like a bitch, but like he wasn't gonna get shot by somebody else. He was gonna seppuku. He had a lightsaber collection apparently, and he would just like took one and just
poor guy. Yeah, that's what Richard E. Grant just he was in none of the movies. He showed up in this one, and he was just like, all right, now I'm gonna kill Hux.
I'm just gonna murder this guy. That was a random casting choice.
The Knights of Ren. I remember I saw like pictures, like concept art of the Knights of Ren, and I was like, that's so fucking badass.
Yeah, we deserve way more for them.
Just nothing about the Knights of Ren.
Nope, we got
absolutely nothing.
We got a tiny little fight with them, and not even Kylo Ren. It was Ben Solo.
Yeah,
and that was it.
They don't know what they're doing.
No, they don't. But
and I know Mandalorian's great. Obi-Wan is good. I don't know. I've heard mixed.
I loved it.
Okay, but they need something more.
See, what I 100% agree with you, because they're sloppy. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
I wish what they would have done is after Rise of Skywalker, I wish they would have just taken a break.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, yeah, Disney Plus, I understand why they kind of jumped on that when they did, because it was going to be a launching series, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So that was it made sense why it happened. But if it were up to me, they would have taken a break. Let's figure out what we want to do from here on out, because we're stepping over each other at this point.
And it doesn't have to do with Skywalkers. You don't have to do anything Skywalker.
Not everything has to do with the story we're already familiar with. That's why I'm excited for like Taika Waititi's story, because he's like not doing anything in that realm.
Yeah, he better not.
Right.
I'll kick his ass.
I'll fuck that guy up.
And like same thing with Mandalorian. Like it was like this new thing, and then Luke Skywalker. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was...
Did you cry during that scene?
Not when Luke Skywalker showed up, when Luke Skywalker took Grogu.
Oh, yes.
That fucked me up.
That was heart-wrenching.
He
wants to be with his dad.
And I did not expect me to react that way either. That's like the thing that cracked me up the most. Although I think I cried more during Obi-Wan. But that was tears of joy.
Tears of nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's one thing, like... It's kind of like the sequels with some of the OG like series fans. Like, I never thought I was going to see Luke Skywalker on screen again.
Right.
So same thing with, especially with like Hayden Christensen, who's like, I don't know if anybody keeps tabs on Hayden Christensen lately, but he likes to work with people like Bruce Willis or like
oh boy,
or
that's
like
a whole episode in and of itself.
Nicolas Cage. He did a film with Nicolas Cage that I watched that was very interesting called Outcast. He did a movie with Emma Roberts called Little Italy that I still haven't seen, but it's like a rom-com, I think. I'm very curious about that. Together. Yeah. If you look at the cover of the movie, he looks twice her age.
Yeah, he didn't age well. I mean,
because it's not a newer movie, I'll tell you that. But she's also not like a kid in it either.
Yeah.
And then he did some movie with Bruce Willis. I haven't watched it yet, but it's for free. Bless you.
Thank you.
It's for free on YouTube, and I'm gonna watch it. I think it's called First Kill.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, these are two actors.
We'll do a review of that movie.
We'll do a review all of them. The Hayden Christensen verse.
Yeah. Well, Brett, thank you for being here and talking Star Wars.
Thank you for having me. This was a blast.
2 hours? Shit.
Holy fuck. We did it.
That's the most I've ever talked about Star Wars with anyone. Tell them something about you, Brad.
I'm Brad. I like Star Wars. I'm going to Galaxy's Edge next month. That's the Disney World theme park for Star Wars, so that'll be cool.
That'll be fun. I expect a review of the rides. Oh,
I can be very thorough with that shit. I love a theme park. All right. So yeah, that should be fun. Follow me at Brad Mamajama on everything. If you like comedy, I'm at the Comedy Rumble at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle on August 23rd. Buy tickets.
Yes. This will be coming out before then, so they'll be able to see it.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank me for filming this. And
thank you, Joseph.
We'll see you next time. Big peace.
Big pieces.